Well, hey, Christy.
Kelly, how are you?
Well, I mean, my nose is running, my eyes are watering, my lips are chapped, and my mouth is dry, so I must be in Canada in the fucking winter.
Yeah, well, it's not much better here in good old Kansas City.
It has to be a little bit better.
Today it's nice, but today, I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing here today. I had Presley's got influenza A. That wasn't on my bingo card for the day.
The good
So,
kind, yeah.
yeah, so I didn't sleep at all last night because, she subscribes to if I'm sick, I cannot sleep unless you are awake.
I sleep better knowing that my mother is awake, guarding over me.
Clearly.
That's
And
nice.
then it was like, what's that game of chairs that you play, where one
Musical
gets to
chairs?
take musical chairs? It's like
Yeah.
musical beds last night. It's like Presley's sleeping in my bed. Colton comes down. Presley's like, "I don't want him here." I take Colton back up to his bed. I fall asleep with him. Presley comes up to his room, goes, "Mom, I want you to sleep with me." I'm like, "Shh, don't wake your brother." We go back
Jesus.
down the stairs. Then Colton wakes up in a little while. I was like, "Where's my mom?" And he comes back down, and Presley's like, "This isn't going to work for me." So I sleep in the middle of the two of them.
Tell me at no point in this evening of musical chairs did anyone pee in a bed.
There was no peeing in the bed, thank you, God and baby Jesus. Because if there had been, I might, might have, might have been a real bitch to my kids this morning. I actually already kind of felt like I was. It's Presley's really sad because she had her first band concert tonight. And so
Hmm.
clearly she can't go.
And she's sick.
I
That sucks.
know. So,
Uh,
she was like there and then, wanting to make her brother more miserable than she was. And I'm rolling on
Generous.
I'm rolling on like 2 hours of sleep. So, pardon
I
me if
want
I get anything wrong, but while I might have not had sleep, I am full Christmas spirit.
you are looking
Wearing it.
like you are Elf on the Shelf. If you could get up on that shelf behind you, it would be perfect.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
am
cute, except for I'd break it and then it'd be very sad.
exactly. I would like to say that I had the same kind of night, but I didn't. I put on a Korean face mask and my eye mask and then let it glue to my face while I slept for 8 hours. But I still feel like I have not gotten any sleep. And I think it's just because the heat is on in here. And so everything is so dried out, including my eyes, that my eyes just want to close. They're like, maybe we should just close and go to sleep. I am no longer accustomed to the winter. I can't do
Gosh.
it. We did go
Calip
outside. I did go outside 2 days ago. It was a beautiful sunny winter day on the weekend in downtown Toronto. So we went to the St. Lawrence Market, if you know, you know. And they had Christmas music and outdoor fires and all the good stuff. And so then you forgot that it was bitter, fucking freezing cold. But I will reiterate my great disdain for the winter. Oh,
Yet you are in Canada in the winter.
I know. But you know what I realized? I did a rant when I got here. I did a rant about drivers because you do. And I realized I hadn't ranted in a long time. And so people were commenting, "Oh my God, it's so great that you're back and you're ranting." And I was like, hey, wait, it's not that I haven't had things to rant about in California. I think I'm just so angry when I'm cold that it's an easy default setting when I'm here to rant about shit. Because now I got like no end of stuff that I could rant about: traffic, people, weather, wind, dry face, you name it. And I'm like, oh, okay, it actually might just be that I'm just happier in the sunshine that's warm.
Also, you don't commute to work anymore. And if I remember correctly, most of your rants were like during your commute to work when you were sitting in.
Or in Starbucks drive-throughs lineups, yes.
There's your first problem. Let's just not do Starbucks. I'm so glad Presley's now on to Dutch Brothers, another
Gross.
well, I don't
Please.
drink the coffee. Listen, I make mine at home. I put a protein shake in it and then I pick up whatever she needs because
Dutch Brothers, I don't understand the hype. Like, the line is like 20 people deep, and then you go up there, and I'm not trying to sound like a boomer, but you look at the menu and you're just like, I just want a regular coffee with maybe just a bit of flair. I don't want a full meal deal in a drink form, like fucking sprinkles and caramel and 6 ways a Sunday. My daughter will drive out of her way to go to a Dutch Bros.
so
No.
there's no lines here on the one near us. So that's great. So that's check for Starbucks. or check for Dutch Brothers. They don't have the same line as Starbucks. But also I feel like when I look at their menu, you know, when you go to a place and you get a Bloody Mary and you just want a Bloody Mary, right? And then
No, I
they put
never
like
do, but I'm gonna I'll channel that. I hate them, but
okay,
go on.
okay. So I want some Worcestershire, some like tomato sauce, maybe a little bit of a lot of vodka,
And a piece of
salt,
celery.
pepper,
Yeah.
and a piece of celery. I do not need maple cured sugared bacon
A
or an
slice of
entire
pizza.
or a fucking salad. It's like there's an olive, there's a pickle, there's I'm like, wait a minute, like are we eating?
I
Like
don't
what are
need
we
a
doing right
drink
now?
with a side meal. Thank you. I just came for the drink. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like,
As a
can
true
you
Canadian, I can't get on board with a Bloody Mary, but I can talk about a Caesar. So take the same, but instead of spicy tomato juice, use clamato juice, which is just like a tomato juice if she were left moist in the sun for a few days. It's
sounds so
clam
disgusting.
juice. It's also why I don't like Caesar's. It is clam juice. Don't gag. It's actually what it is.
I do like some clamato sometimes. I just don't like to think about what it is.
Yeah, that's fair. There's a lot
I
of things
mean,
like that. You're like, let's not talk about it. Let's just enjoy it.
but also going back to these fucking Bloody Marys that are also meals, I'm just like, now you're gonna charge me $22. I don't what is the what's the Chevy version
Yeah.
of your
Can I have
freaking
the?
you're giving me like the Cadillac that I
Yeah.
don't need, man.
I
I
want
just
the
need
bronze package.
can I just get what God intended a Bloody Mary to be, please?
Can
And
I
thank
get a
you.
glass of tomato juice, spice it up, throw some Worcestershire on it? Can I get a plate with some celery and maybe a lemon wedge? And then also on the side, a shot of vodka. And I'll DIY that shit. Don't overcomplicate this. Yes, I'm
My
with
gosh,
you.
speaking of overcomplicating, what a year.
My
So,
God.
we had done this amazing podcast that no one will ever see because we did it in person in
Yeah.
California to
Yeah.
celebrate our, kind of almost a year of this like, "Hey, let's do a podcast, man. Let's just, like, do this." And so, in true us form, we completely effed up the audio, and you couldn't hear me talk, which we really had to screw it up because I'm loud. So, we had this wonderful podcast where we were drinking these beautiful what were they?
Espresso martinis.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then when Kelly went back to look at it, she's like, "Ah, fuck, you can't hear Christy." Well, halfway through, it cut off anyways, so I redid it or restarted the recording, and then you couldn't hear Kelly. So we're gonna try our best to recreate that podcast.
Yeah.
So this might be a lot of fun. It might suck, but essentially, which is kind of what we do here.
That would be right on brand. We're both in marketing. Let's stay on brand here. Let's make
My
it completely
gosh.
unhinged and totally off topic.
Wait, what? I feel like
Wait.
that's more PR than marketing.
Okay, sure.
Someone the other day was like, "Oh, well, there's no such thing as bad marketing." I'm like, You mean PR. There's a lot
There's
of
definitely bad
really
marketing.
bad
No,
marketing rolling around."
yeah, no such thing as bad press.
Sure.
And then bad marketing, definitely. There have been some zingers.
Or
Can
it
I
just doesn't work.
can I say though, last night being down here in Toronto, it
Up
reminded
there,
me there
up there. You're up there from the rest of us, up there.
actually true because I'm up there from myself too. So up here in Toronto, in the snowy north, there are not a lot of billboards, but there is one billboard that came outside of town as you head east in from the west side, and it's by a company named Pink Cherry, which is an adult toy store and very non-Canadian. And they put a picture of a certain, let's call it massaging device for women, and the only thing that it said was scream your own name. And it made the front cover of the Toronto Star and the National Post, all the newspapers like aghast that this sign was up there. I was so relieved to be here 6-7 years later from when that happened and see that they still have the spot. They still have cheeky like one-liners on there that are like tongue in cheek, but just a little risque for Canada. I loved it. I was like, that's some damn good marketing. So kudos to you, Pink Cherry. And if it weren't so cold, I'd go visit your store, but I'll be fine. Santa Claus. I might have a knot in my shoulder. I need a massage out. What are you talking about?
Hey, listen, I'm not here to judge. I am not here to judge. I don't have any basis to judge anyone else. I am just trying to live my life in a way that doesn't make me absolutely fucking insane. And what's
Yeah.
not helping that cause before we get into our moments of the year is
Yeah.
that every single day, so I've had contractors in my house for
Yeah,
3
the
weeks
basement.
because I had foundation work. Hey, happy $23,000 that I get to spend on ripping apart my basement.
You didn't need that
I didn't need that, and
money.
then I definitely didn't need the, 7 grand worth of drywall and new flooring that I'm putting in,
Mm.
but must be done by Christmas because my Texas family is coming to stay with me, and also, I just don't live well in the space in between. Like, if
Yeah.
there's a project, get it done, I don't care. Like, I'm like one of those people that's like, "Rip that Band-Aid off, I don't care how bad it hurts, I just want it once, one time, and let's go." So, like, if my life has to suck for 3 weeks, fine, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna because if
Suck
we
for
break
3 months.
if
Yeah.
we break it up, then it's constantly on my mind. I'm like, "Someone fix it."
Yeah, fix it.
So, I knew I had a shopping problem.
No.
It really became apparent when my contractors were bringing in packages hourly for which they were going
Like, that
back
were being delivered
back
to the
to their
front door?
truck. They're 'cause they're sweet guys. And so there's a stack, like a Christmas tree sized stack of boxes in my entryway. And I know these guys are just like, because they're all
That
guys.
bitch.
They're like, what is she doing? Like, and I to one of them, I was like, don't worry, I'm not married. I'm not pissing my husband off. He started laughing. But I do have to tell you, the one big downer of not being married is I used to just throw the Amazon boxes in the garage
And let somebody else break them down, and now
and
you
get
have to
rid of
do it.
them.
I
And now
know.
I'm like, "Wait a minute. This is a wh this it should keep me from." I mean, I burned a bunch of boxes the other day. I'm just like my recycling I shouldn't say I burned boxes.
I think you
Is
should
that wrong?
shush that one. I don't you have a nephew who lives close by? Couldn't he come break down your boxes?
Yeah, Kelly, everyone's busy. And
Ooh,
I went,
wait, I did see a cool tool on Instagram the other day, and it's like a little Sawzall that you just can cut your would that be fun if you had, like, a weapon tool?
No, because that's just one more thing that shows up in my house in a box.
I know, but it's a gift. Maybe I'll send it to you.
Great, fantastic, fantastic. Anyways, I'm just laughing because now I literally have a Christmas tree size stack of boxes that after this podcast, I'm going to go figure out A, what is in them because I don't
We
remember.
haven't even opened them.
No,
Maybe
Kelly.
maybe your neighbors are going to think you're some Instagram influencer, and these are all just PR boxes that you keep receiving because 'cause you're a big deal.
Yeah, I don't
You could
think
do
my
it as an unboxing. Could you just do a TikTok for us unboxing like you are an influencer? And you'll be like, "Look, Q-tips you shouldn't have." No?
no,
Oh,
no,
okay, fine.
no. I mean, hard no. I mean, for something good, right? I guess, but we had a crazy weekend this weekend, and I'm still recovering from it. And last night didn't help. But I just there's boxes everywhere in my house. It looks like someone's moving.
Yeah. Are we moving? If your kids are like, "Are we do you have something to tell us?" I do have the opposite box story to tell you because, of course, everyone has a Ring camera, as you know. The other day, my husband is home and he places an order from Old Navy, and it's being shipped by UPS. So the Ring camera tells him that there was a package at the door. 10 minutes later, he proceeds to go to the door to pick up said package, and the package is gone. So he's thinking, porch pirates, oh my gosh, and where we live in Irvine, that's really not that common. We're in a gated community, blah,
Yeah, I
blah,
was
blah.
like, you're in a gated community. It's
I know.
you're
I
not
know.
you're not living
We're
in
not
the,
in the hood by any stretch.
or yeah,
Well, so we go back on the Ring camera. Lo and behold, do you know who took the package?
your
The
daughter.
goddamn UPS driver. But I should say it's not actually UPS in a UPS truck. UPS is obviously contracted out during the busy Christmas season to regular drivers. So you see him come up, drop the package, take the photo to confirm delivery, go down the end of the walkway to the car, run back, grab the bags, get back in the car, and take off. I hope you, whoever you are, didn't really want that job of delivering for UPS for very long this Christmas season because the packages are tracked, your route is tracked, and now you're on a Ring camera, you stupid asshole. Merry Christmas.
Is it root or route?
Potato, potato. What do you say?
No, I change it up. I have a
Hmm.
hard time pronouncing words in general.
I do. I was going back through some of our clips, and that ambulance one is going to live in my head rent free forever. I'm going to be listening for it the next time you say ambulance.
I can't believe I said that, and I was
You
sober.
said it 2 times in
Well,
a
listen,
row. You were owning that word.
speaking of the last year, it's been kind of a kerfluffle, if you
Oh,
will.
that's a good word. Kerfuffle is a good. It's like the politically correct clusterfuck. A kerfuffle.
Yeah, that's a kerfuffle. Anyways, but I do have to tell you about my weekend before we get into there because
Yes.
this is why my house is a mess, and I just want anyone who walks into my house and understands anything about me to know my house is a mess because on Friday, we had Colton's first basketball practice. And then we went and we had dinner with some friends, and then we went and walked through a bunch of Christmas lights in the arboretum near us, which it was $17 a person. Absolutely fucking ridiculous, especially when there's neighborhoods around here that, like, you can drive through that do way better. Anywho, I'm off that. The next morning, we had to be at Presley's volleyball tournament on the court by 7:15. Said tournament was
Ugh,
45 minutes away, so that's like
ugh,
a 5 a.m. wake up call. We get
nope.
home. Presley has soccer games starting at 5. So, we got home at, like, 3 something and then started the soccer games. I left her with her dad because my one of my best friends in the world has her annual Christmas party. So, we go to the Christmas party. Said Christmas party is I mean, I think she probably spent about she had bartenders, okay?
I love those kind of parties.
I mean, love it. The downstairs, it was so funny. It was all Christmas vacationed out. Like everything was like, Merry Christmas. You feel or no, that's Home Alone, sorry. Everything was, had cousin Eddie all over it. And it was like so done up and so incredibly tacky. That's where the bar was. And upstairs, which should I just tell you, having a set of stairs in between the parties and the bar downstairs is maybe not the best idea. There may have been a couple of people that fell down those stairs.
Gosh,
Anywho, I was not one of them.
proud
So
of you.
thank you, thank you, thank you. We didn't leave. Was And then the upstairs, like, had all the food and was, like, where all the bougie people hung out.
Or
It was
hungry
real
people.
well, yeah, but the bougie people stayed up there and properly ate. The rest of us
Mm.
shoved the food down and went back
I went
downstairs
back downstairs, tried not to fall down the stairs. Okay.
to the Christmas club. It
The
was
Christmas
it was
club.
such I mean, it was literally like club music from when I was in college and stuff, like, absolutely obscene and so much fun. And
That's fun.
then I thought I could stay out till almost 2 in the morning, which
Well,
was
I
not
mean, you
very
could if you didn't have your children waking you up in the morning or 10 sporting events the next day, which I'm sure you did.
they stayed at their dad's. I would not stay out till 2 in the morning with my
Yes,
children
I missed that.
staying in my
Okay.
home.
But
Well, then the next day, I picked them up at 9:30 AM. We go to church, we go to Colton's soccer game, and then we turn around and Colton has his birthday party, which we did a Nerf Wars party at this place, and that lasted till 3, and then we got home. By the time we cleaned up or picked up everything, whatever, we get home, it's like 4 o'clock. Undo his presents, which he ripped apart before I could even see the cards. So to all the parents that gave him gifts, thanks. I have no idea what you gave him.
it's a mystery.
Sorry that my son's an absolute animal
Monster.
monster. And so about 5:30, I'm like, "Oh, we probably should eat something." And so I cooked dinner. But I woke up Monday morning and I was like
Did I skip the weekend? Did I press fast forward? Why am I tired? What happened?
and then I'm like, "You know what? It's the week before Christmas, right? So it shouldn't be that bad." It is that Monday was one of the busiest days from a work perspective I have had in like a month.
I
And I didn't know it was gonna be busy, like, wasn't on my
yeah,
bingo
just
card. All of a sudden, everyone's like,
I gotta talk to you right
"I gotta
now.
talk to you right now, and we have this, and we need to talk about this, and we're end of year budgeting," and, like, some of it was really great. It was like, "Hey, I need to spend this money before I lose it." I'm like, "I can help you with that
Those
whole
are good
phase."
problems.
But still, like, it was just crazy. So I'm f and then say Wednesday only?
Today's only Tuesday. I hate to break it to you. It's really only the day after yesterday. I have to
I thought I at least made it to Wednesday. Now I'm just
No,
gonna
girl, not even
cry.
close. No,
Oh
you're
my
not even
god.
close.
Someone's trying to have
So
a
many
meeting
sleeps left.
Someone's out trying to have a meeting with me on Friday. I'm like, listen, it's my son's actual birthday. All the kids are doing their Christmas stuff
No,
and
thank
at
you.
school, and I will be at school all day because I have 2 kids in the same school for the last year. I'm just like, Remember
we have
how I
talked.
said I was gonna say no to
You
things?
did say you were going to selectively participate, and it sounds like you have selected to participate in everything to date since then, and that was Halloween. I will say, though, I will remind you that this is that magical window where we can start to delegate things to a 2026 problem. So remind yourself that not everything has to be a 2025 problem. You can
Here's
solve it next year.
here's the deal. You're client side and I'm agency side.
And that's true. That's true.
So I can't just be like, "Hey, that's a problem for next year."
Yeah, they're like,
And
"Hey, my money is only available this year." Okay, that's fair. Those are the
so
puts and takes of being entrepreneurial. On the flip side, on client side, when you do also have to be responsible for the sales number, everybody's up your biscuit every single day to close the year out. And I'm like, "Hey, does anybody want to press pause and like close up shop for 7, 10, 14 days after the 23rd? The answer to that is no. That's a hard hell no. So I am currently sitting in Eastern time zone where I would have said, oh, amazing. I'm going to have shorter days because, the West Coast will just, no, the East Coast calls me on Eastern time at 8 a.m. and then the West Coast calls me at Western time at 4 p.m. So guess what? I'm just on the phone the whole day from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m.
that's kind of how it works in Central Standard Time. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're available. It's 7 in the morning. You're available. It's only 7 at night."
I'm going to give this a 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10 for that one. Okay, let's get back to the actual show we were supposed to do.
Yeah, we were actually going to talk about the year that we have had since now 11 months ago, 13 months ago. What am I saying? The other way. 13 months ago, I randomly texted Christy after a particularly difficult 11 months where I was spending a lot of time in my head and needing a creative outlet that would bring me joy. And Christy and I we talked a few times about doing something stand-up comedy or write a book, all these things. And I texted Christy randomly one day in November. And I was like, yo, when are we going to start doing this podcast? And Christy and her bias for action that she just described earlier was like, I'm into it. Let's fucking go.
I think my response is cool. I'll and you're like, we need to get together. And I'm like, what are you doing on the 26th
Boxing
of
Day.
December? Or as the rest of us call it, the 26th of December, not
When you
September.
say the rest of us, you mean America. I'll speak on behalf of the Commonwealth countries and say Boxing Day.
Sorry, we said fuck England, so we did that a while back. We don't really participate in that stuff.
Yeah,
Anywho's, so we refuse to be really truly colonized.
exactly. You can't keep a
We said
good man down.
we're not gonna pay you taxes across when you're not doing anything for us. Yet another war fought over taxes. Anywho,
Let's
so
not go there. It's the season of giving,
it is the season of giving.
not terror.
I gave to the IRS today, sis. My accountant's like, hey,
I'm about to give it to
you
the IRS in really big ways.
That's one of the
Okay.
things that sucks about being an entrepreneur is like, I mean, you guys get like your W-2s, you get your taxes taken out. I'm like, I'm rich. And then the IRS says, no, you're
Yeah.
not. I'm like, damn it. No, you're
I'm
right. I'm
about to be
not.
rich, lady. Give it back. Yeah. I think you're supposed to set some systems in place so that you're
Yeah.
not doing that just once a year, aren't you?
Yeah, Kelly, you are. And I do it more than once a year, but my payments are very chunky, very fat
Chunky
payments. And like
payments.
when
Not a
the
lot,
government
unlike my body post holidays, are
chunky.
chunky.
But no, and when the government was shut down, my accountant's like, "You need to pay this." I'm like, "They're shut down. Who's gonna give a
Who's
shit?
cashing my check on
Who's
Boxing
cashing
Day?
this check?" I don't care. Anyways, going back to the podcast. So I'm
Yes.
like, "Hey, it was my first year split up from my husband, so gave up my children halfway through the day on Christmas
The
Day."
26th.
I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah. Christmas Day. Yeah.
I was like, "So the 26th." I'm like, "What are you doing?" Which is a really weird time to ask someone, "Can I come to your home and figure some things out with you?" Because truly, it's the day after Christmas. Like,
I mean, it's
big
weird
crazy.
if you think it's weird.
I thought it was kinda weird, but you were like, "I'm into it." So I flew out to meet a woman who had only met in person one actual time. We had worked together via Zoom
Yeah.
through the COVID and done all of those things, but I'd only met her once in person for less than an hour at a bar on
At a
my way
bar,
to
at a
the airport.
congress, in a hotel. New Orleans, I think.
Was it New Orleans? I don't know. I think it was Atlanta.
Was it Atlanta?
It was
They
Atlanta.
all blurry. It's entirely possible that both of those things are true. I have no idea.
No, no, it's not. It was Atlanta. I'm right, but it's cool.
Okay.
Whatever, any moves, moving on.
All I know is Christy was like, "I need to get on an airplane, so pass me all the martinis, please, so I can get there and not
Let's
claw
go.
my armrest to bits."
Well, it was funny though, because we get out there and the concepting and the business side of all of it was super easy for me, right? Like, I'm like, we need an LLC. Let's name it. Let's do this. Here's our premise, blah, blah, blah. And then what happened, Kelly? Kelly's getting more and more excited, and I start to get anxious.
Yeah, I definitely like once the big ideas and we start, yes, we can get that name. Yes, we are aligned and yes, this is the right approach. And then I'm in full, like, let's fucking go. This is going to be amazing. Here's what we could do. And I was also in peak, like, manifest my destiny kind of mode. So I have this vision for how great it can be. And I'm watching Christy's face, like, just start to get really frantic across the table. And I'm like, what's happening right now? What are you doing? And you were just anxious. And you said to me, what if we do it and nobody likes it? And I'm like, what if we do it and it's fucking awesome? And also, who cares?
Good advice always. I have just, I work in marketing and advertising, but I'm never the talent. And
Yeah.
that's what, like, I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on.
This is on
This is
me.
this is on me, and this is now scary. Oh god, I have to, like, someone's
Yeah.
going to maybe
I
listen. What
have
if people
hives.
listen to me?" And then I'm like, "Well," and then Kelly wouldn't let me wuss out. Actually, our first episode was supposed to be a trial run, and I was super sick and taking Dayquil, which makes me a total crazy person, and she went ahead and posted it because she's
There was some
an
good shit in
asshole.
there. And I felt like if we're going to be real, we might as well be super real. And let's face it, if we did a back to back of our first and our most recent, they're probably not that dissimilar. I mean, I think we've gotten really good about managing the conversation, but we can be just as much of a hot mess now as we were a year ago. That didn't change.
Amen. That's never gonna change. I'm
That's
just
never going
letting
to
everyone in
change.
my life know, no, always be a hot mess. Okay, so we have some questions. We actually put
Yes.
together some questions for this show when we did it live and in person from Los Angeles. Or Vine, close enough.
I mean,
Um,
it's close enough.
and whatever. Okay, so let's talk about some things. I'm gonna ask you some questions, Kelly, or we can actually both pass it back and forth.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do some awards. Most
Oh.
likely, actually, best corporate clapback.
Okay, maybe me
That's
because I
Kelly.
was
That's
the only
Kelly.
one who I'm the only one who is corporate, although you could clap back, but it just stings a little more when you're the agency. I would say in the last year that leading up into us actually doing the podcast, I was having a real challenge with my personal belief in how leaders should show up and my own leadership team's changing belief based on a leadership change. And I'm intentionally being very cautious about how I'm describing this. And it put me in a place for probably 6 months where I really was questioning whether the success that I have had in 2 decades of working was just a fluke. Like, was I just entertaining and funny and I joked my way here? Am I even really good at what I do? And I spent a good amount of time in my head just based on I was believing one thing and I had a whole team of people who were shifting in a different direction. And then probably late in the summer, I realized, you know what? No, I refuse to believe that the two different approaches can't both be true at the same time. And I need to start putting my foot down to be exactly who I am and not wavering from that. So this was a great creative outlet in having the podcast and having this mechanism to just laugh and talk. But what I also did was manufacture my exit because I had done everything that I needed to do in the role that I was asked to take on and set everybody up for success. And the team was rocking and rolling and the right people were in the right jobs. And so just like parenting, the sign that you're good at what you've just done in raising your children is making them independent and they don't need you. And so that's what I did. And then it was like, okay, we're in very different places as far as what we think a leader should bring. So respectfully, I'm going to get my green card and so I can work wherever I want to here in the US and I'm going to take my leave. And so I manufactured a sabbatical that I enjoyed every moment of. And I think I call it a clapback only because happiness is probably the best revenge, and success, no matter what it looks like, is something that you get to enjoy and they get to look back at and go, fuck. She didn't crumble, she didn't fall, she actually reinvented and landed in a better place. So, I think if that were a clapback, that's what I would call it.
There's so many things in there that I wanna, like, talk to, and I know we don't have time today for all of them, but there's 2 things that I would like to say to that. 1, happiness is the only revenge. Full stop. Everything else costs you something.
Yeah, true.
And I think the worst thing that we can do as humans is to continually chase something that is negative or give a shit about it. Like Taylor's one of the songs on her new album is called, Actually Romantic,
Okay.
and it's about someone who's been talking shit on her forever, and she's like, "It's actually sweet. It's kinda romantic, like, you can't stop thinking about me, right?" So, on that and then also, I got to hear all that was happening with you, and I wanna say that I'm just really proud of you because there were definitely easier paths, quote, unquote, "easier paths" from a mail it in perspective, not give a shit, just kind of get your check and do whatever they tell you to do, and
Yeah.
I've always respected you, but in watching you go through this process where you said, "No." No, I'm not. I'm not gonna turn into somebody I'm not. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna just mail it in. I'm not gonna just collect a paycheck because I actually give a shit, is really amazing, and, I applaud you for it for sure because it was
Thanks.
definitely you did not take the easy road on this one.
Yeah, thanks.
Also
Yeah?
oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna I would add to that that coming out and then being in a sabbatical where you're completely disconnected. So we had this podcast episode about who are you without the title, right? Like what does it mean? It just gave me the time to come into the role that I am in now and detox myself from any of those hangups about how should I say this? Should I come at this a different way? Do I have to put a veneer on this? To say, "No, I'm not going," even if I maybe somebody thinks I should, I'm not going to, and unapologetically be as authentic as I had always been before I got into my head. And so there have been meetings even now in my current role that I've come out of and just given myself a pat on the back for not being afraid to be completely authentic, even if it included swear words or uncomfortable conversations. It was just like, "Yeah, no, I'm just going to be this person." So I'm super grateful to myself for taking the risk to, come out and then take the time to be out and then to come back in and just be the version of me that was 20 years ago, with obviously some lessons learned about how to get your way a little bit better. So thank you for the compliment. It was definitely holy shit, what am I doing? But I just could not live in a world where I had to be somebody who I am not. It's just too hard.
It's too hard and it's exhausting. Also, my other point you dovetailed perfectly into because
Okay.
when I saw you, when did I see you? I don't know. It was like a month ago. So when I saw you, it was, and I've seen the transformation, via camera, but or webcast, whatever digital thing we're on right now,
Whatever this is.
whatever this is, we do. I saw it. You looked 10 years younger when I saw you. And it really made me think like, man, the stress, like, right? The stress of being in a place or in a role or not living, your authentic self
Yeah.
and how much it, like, will deteriorate your actual body.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you hadn't had any significant work done, or at least that you told me about, and I
Not
literally
any
you looked
work that I don't normally have done.
just a little Botox here, there, and everywhere. No, I'm just kidding, but, no, you looked so much younger,
Yeah,
and
it
your
is
entire
interesting.
energy changed, and I
And
talked to
even
your husband about this. I was like,
yes.
"Dude, she just looks smoking hot." I was like, "She looks so much younger." He's like, "I know, right? I mean, she's always smoking hot because God love Andrew." But
Gotta
you
love
you really
Andrew.
did, you looked so much younger, and I just couldn't be happier for you.
Thank you. And I think it's similar to divorce, and I know you are coming out the other side of that too. These are significant portions of your life that you spend your time in, whether that's your career or your marriage or relationships. And if you are not getting to be 100% who you are in either of those scenarios, it is going to take a toll somewhere. And I think for me, the thing that I noticed, and I'm sure the manifestation was looking younger or whatever, but it was just a peace, a feeling of peace. And I remember even the first day after my last day, somebody called me and asked me how I was feeling. And the first word that came to my mind was peaceful.
I love
And,
that.
then you go through waves of, holy shit, what have I done? Or you're in the garage with 7,000 Amazon boxes going, God damn it, what have I done? But then when you go to bed, you're like, oh, you know what I didn't do today? I didn't second guess a single word I said. I felt really good about everything that I did, and that does not carry the weight of stress that living in a different way does. So that was probably you could call it a corporate clapback, but I would call it the best reimagining I did of myself in many, many years.
I love that. I love that. We could have made that a whole episode, Kelly.
Well, we
We
almost
should.
did. We talked about it
We
for quite
almost
a bit.
did. We almost did.
What else do we have? And you have the list. I don't. So how do I ask you? You answer some that are for yourself too.
Okay, well, one of the other ones we had was most likely to cry in a Target parking lot,
Well, we all know
and
who that is.
that's me. And
Christy,
because
you even error proof your own eyelashes just for those occasions.
yeah, so everyone's like, "Why do you spend this money on these fake lashes?" I'm like, A, I don't have any real ones, and B, like I cry a lot. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm pissed. I cry when I'm over it. I mean, I literally cry all the time. And no one, I mean, I would look like Kiss running around all the time with these. I also squint a lot. So I have squinty little eyes and I cry. So my solution is fake lashes. But I definitely have had times this year where it wasn't a Target parking lot. It was after the kids, goes into my most unhinged mom moment too, probably. I took both of my kids in for their annuals and checkups together, and I don't know what the fuck they took before they went in there, but my 6-year-old went completely nonverbal and became a dinosaur. So anything he was doing was mirroring what a T-Rex would do and the sounds he would make. Presley just decided to like talk nonstop to the point that I had to send them out of the room so I could talk to the doctor. And I sent them out. I was like, can they just sit in the hallway for like 5 minutes? And I start crying. And I'm like, okay, tell me what you were trying to tell me again. And she's like, here's a tissue.
Here's
I'm
a
like,
tissue.
I will, okay, everything's fine. It's just fine. I was like, cool, they're healthy, great. So my 6-year-old just suddenly deciding to act like a T-Rex in your office is
We're
normal.
good.
Fucking tastic. And then I drag the little shits to the car and we get in and I pull myself together to like, get through. And I teared up and had one or two streaming tears down my face in front of the doctor. We get in the kids and I have a full on ugly cry, sobbing mess. And they're like,
No.
what's wrong? And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Were you in there with me?
Did you just see what just happened? Did you see how you two acted?
Maybe you should have responded in T-Rex language and then you would have understood.
Well, what it is that it was a new doctor and she's really pretty. And so Colton got nervous. And normally he's like, let me tell you how I feel about this. I mean, he's a chatty little thing. I don't know where he gets it
Yeah.
from. But anyways, and so they're
It's a
like,
mystery.
cool, glad. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, can we go to McDonald's? And I want it's just like, sure, let me go pay for some trash food that costs the same amount as me making you fillets at home. Why not? Let's
I
go.
like that you go into the GP for your 2 children and you walk out with 2 clean bills of health and a prescription for Ativan for yourself. You're like, this was not what I thought was going to happen, but I'm here for it.
Wasn't on my bingo card for the day.
You're still so deep in the early days of parenting that I don't even think you should probably play bingo anymore. You're safer on the money line. You've done well on that a couple of times. You should put your bets on like it's a football game. Also, do we want to talk about football? Because you talked about Sunday and you skipped right over it.
So on Sunday, for those of you that don't know, not only did the Chiefs put the nail in the coffin that we will not make the playoffs, but Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL.
We have a moment of silence for the Chiefs.
It was rough. And Kelly texts me, what did you say? You're like, I just heard the news. Are you okay?
Are
And
you okay?
I think I said no. But yeah, speaking of a year in review, this football season's really been hard on me.
I was mostly for all of you checking. Yes, I was checking on Christy's mental health, but I was also checking we were still podcasting because I was really looking forward to it. And I knew if the Chiefs lost, it was at risk. The Chiefs losing and then not making it to the playoffs, I was like, well, this might be dead in the water until January or February when the Super Bowl's over. Oh my
Well,
God.
no, I mean, it's fine. Like, everyone should have the chance. One of the things that I really hate in this game is that, you know, the shit talking on Patrick Mahomes right now. Like, I'm just gonna say this. For anyone that has shit to talk on Patrick Mahomes, this season is not a result of him.
Yeah.
Is a result of an entire team that effed up, but specifically our offensive line and our receivers. Like, if the ball hits you in the numbers, you better catch it. Kelly, I don't know that you know what that means.
Unless the numbers are on your back of your jersey, in which case it probably is Patrick Mahomes' fault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was probably scrambling for his damn life because the offensive line couldn't block to
We're
save shit.
protecting him?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, anyways, and I just hate that he got injured. I hate when anyone gets injured. Like,
And
if
I've
we're
had 3
playing
ACL repairs. I hate that anyone has an ACL repair because it sucks some big cojones. And if you really wanted to know what Christy said when I said, "Hey, I'm just checking in. Are you okay?" First, she said no. And then she said, "I have nothing to live for." So I had to send her a reminder. So I sent her the logo of our podcast. You have this. And then she reminded me she also has children.
Yeah, I'm like, "Well, Kelly, glad you want me around for the podcast, but I got these little people that, like, some days can't wipe their own asses, okay? So I gotta stick around for them. Oh, Lord help us. But yeah, it's the and then K-State, like, we have a new coach now. He's an old player who I have a ton of respect for. I just don't think he has the experience, so I'm not real excited about that. I don't know if our buddy Travis is leaving us. Just I'm gonna ha I mean, I'm a very sad football fan right now, but that's okay.
That's
That's fine.
okay. That's okay. She's got a Santa hat on, so she's moving forward, onwards and
Yeah.
upwards.
I also have
What a
candy cane earrings and an ugly sweater that has bells on it, and "Don't Stop Believin'."
Okay, I like it. I would like it if those Christmas lights actually were lights that glowed and lit up. That would be also cool, but I dig your vibe. I didn't bring any Christmas sweaters to my girlfriend's downtown condo, or as I like to call it, pied à terre, so she sounds extra fancy. So I'm just in a brown sweater. In my heart, I'm wearing a Christmas sweater and a Santa hat. What else we got? You are definitely most likely to cry in any parking lot or just straight up in the grocery store or the doctor's office.
Or just because I watched a commercial and it really touched me. So, okay, the other thing we did was letters to ourselves a year ago, but we do the abbreviated version. So, Kelly, what would you tell yourself a year ago?
A year ago, I would just say it's all going to be just fine.
Just fine? Or maybe it's just gonna be fucking great.
Well, that's better. Yeah, this is going to go better than you imagined. And everything that you thought was going to happen, it's going to happen. Have faith. You're going to get there. And listen, I was just saying this the other day. The good news is by having gotten to this place now, I realize even if for some crazy reason the shit hits the fan, I'll be just fine. Always having been in corporate jobs and always having had the big girl job, to have a moment where you didn't is a bit anxiety ridden. And then when it turns out to be amazing, you're like, oh, well, so if for some reason I end up here again, and let's face it, the industries in general are a bit in flux right now. There are a lot of people who are feeling like they're either displaced from their roles or they're not sure how their business will do and all those things. And you're like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? I now know that even if that does happen, it might be for a really good reason and it could end up even better than I left. So it just puts me in a somewhat more bulletproof frame of mind. How about you for Christy? This time last year, who was struggling with this is my first Christmas without my kids. What is this going to look like? What would you tell yourself today, back then?
I would tell myself to buckle up because it's gonna be harder than you think. I would tell myself you're gonna fail a ton this year, and you're gonna feel like you're failing even more than you are, and it's gonna be okay. And I would tell myself that to trust myself, and I would tell myself that your voice is worth hearing,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, to really just trust myself because in life we go through these and it was a hard year all the way around for me. The economy started really sucking. So in addition to working through a divorce, which is not easy,
Mhm.
to say the least, I mean, it's like ripping a flesh, right? It's terrible. The economy went to hell. And for people that say it didn't, let me tell you, if you're a small business, it definitely did for most of us. And so I wasn't prepared to have that happen as well because work has always been something where when the rest of my life sucks, I've excelled at. And so same talent, same things going on, but not getting the results that I'm used to getting. And I think I would just tell myself to like hang tight because it's gonna shift and it's gonna change and you're gonna be happy again.
Yeah.
Which is something I always know, life is peaks and valleys, and when you're in the valley, you just gotta keep going because guess what? You're gonna hit a peak again, and then when you're at a
Mm.
peak, just know it's gonna suck again. But I would
Mhm.
really just encourage myself to not overthink everything.
And maybe give yourself a little grace, because I know that
Oh, yeah.
you set a really hard line and a high bar for yourself, and you give a lot to people, and you don't always get it in return, and you don't expect it. You kinda wish for it, but you don't expect it, and then you're hard on yourself when not everything was able to happen or you couldn't do the all the things. Go easy on yourself, because you're cutting boxes that you didn't have to cut before. So,
New Year's resolution,
give yourself a little
give grace.
grace.
I think that's been my resolution for my whole adult life.
Yeah.
So someday I'll figure out how to, but I do feel like in this last year, I've gotten a bit more to the point that I don't care what you think unless you are paying my bills or you are my kids. And I love my family. I love my friends. I am so incredibly blessed. I have so many wonderful, wonderful people in my life. But really learning that you got to create the life that you're good living, not what looks good to everybody else. Not what's picture perfect, right? Not what's, like, super successful and whatever. It's like, are you happy?
Yeah.
Are you peaceful? Do you sleep well? I mean, I don't because I need to get my hormones checked, but whatever.
Yeah.
No,
But in
but
your soul, are you sleeping with
yeah,
a
like
you're sleeping with a good heart?
yeah, like, am I good with where I am? And I think the answer is, at least today, which is all we have, people, all we
Yeah.
know we have is that, yeah, it's good. So that's what I would've told myself. I think I really would have been like, "Hey, just so you know, this year's gonna really suck and be amazing, but mostly suck."
I think a lot of things this year have been difficult. I'm sure more difficult than you maybe hoped they'd be, but
Absolutely.
coming out the other side of the difficulties should feel pretty damn good where you're like, "I handled that really well." I've watched you handle some things that I mean, I'm divorced. I didn't have to put up with the bullshit you've been dealing with, and I know you can rant into your chat GPT and then rewrite some things to come out like the big girl that you have to be, and I'm like, "Good on you." I probably should single-handedly thank Christy Christy Diesel for my excellent use of chat GPT since she was the first one who's like, "Hey, you should try doing it for this." And if you're my husband, yes, I have seen Terminator. I know where this goes, but for now, that bitch is doing all my work for me and making things more efficient. Like, what am I cooking for dinner tonight? I don't know. Let me ask my personal assistant.
Listen, if you're not using it, you're just working too damn hard. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Kelly, we are almost the top of the hour. We are, like, out of time. I feel like we didn't cover
We
near
are
what we
out of
needed to
time.
cover.
Listen, this was probably more philosophical than we thought it would be, but it is a good reminder that we sat in a place a year ago and we're like, we could do this cool thing. It would be really fun. And maybe it goes nowhere, but it would be cool to do. And we have shown up over and over and over again. I think this is our 30th episode, 31, if we counted the one that didn't count. And the things that we have done and hosted and learned, and that's hard stuff. So, congratulations, Christy. We did it for 1 year, and so far it's been awesome. So thank you.
Congratulations to you too, because, like, here's the deal. We're not like someone was like, how long you do this podcast? I'm like, till I don't want to do it. And even
Exactly.
when it's hard, even when you're like, fuck, I got a million things to do. Okay, let me take I have time with Kelly, or, you just got done talking to your attorney and you're sobbing and someone needs to go put some makeup on her face. Like, there's never been an episode that I wasn't glad I showed up.
Yeah, agreed. It's like going to the gym. Sometimes you're like, how am I going to squeeze it in? I don't want to do this. And you get out of it and you never regretted doing it. I've always come out of these like, damn, that was a good one. And because I do all the edits at the back end, I get to enjoy it over and over again. Maybe Andrew would say it's not so enjoyable when he's listening to us repeat, repeat, repeat. But I'm like, damn, that was good, ladies. We're funny. There's some funny shit in here, despite what our kids say, or my kids.
Well,
But
so to everybody, happy holidays because
happy holidays.
we'll be back at the beginning of the year with, I'm sure, just an episode around our holiday fuckery, probably.
Shenanigans 2026
Holiday
version.
holiday shenanigans. My New Year's resolution is to stop using the F word so much.
That is a terrible idea.
That's not,
Everybody knows
no,
that's fake. That's definitely one of those New Year's resolutions that you break on January 2nd.
absolutely, probably the first. Anyways, happy holidays. Love to everyone and just like light joy and peace.
And like, share, forward to, here's a good Christmas gift. Forward this podcast to all your friends. And then maybe in 2026, Christy and I can retire off of our podcast and just do this for a living.
I love it. Love you,
it.
Kelly.
Love
Happy
you.
holidays.
Bye.
Bye.